Yeah, yeah. But first up for our reviews is Wrath of Man.
Yes. So this is currently available on Amazon to stream, and Daniel spotted this one. And I gotta say, when I heard, oh, Jason Statham movie on Amazon, my first thought was, oh, did David Ayer have enough time to make another one right after A Working Man?
Yeah, because they've partnered with what was it, Working Man? Well, Beekeeper was the other one, right?
Yep.
Hey, Arcos, good to see you. Yeah, Jason Statham, good action junk food. Yeah, this one is slightly different though, because not only is Jason Statham in it, but it was also directed by Guy Ritchie.
Yes, and allegedly co-written by him. Oh, that's right. That was Man from Uncle was the other Guy Ritchie movie we had reviewed.
Right.
That's
Yes. Yeah.
See, I knew I had seen Snatch. I just didn't think that we had actually talked about it between us. So that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. 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 He
So,
also did the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies.
and Genuine Comics, you have a reasonable guess there. Based on the cover alone and the Statham casting, we kind of know the movie before we see it. Actually, not entirely.
Yeah. Not. Yeah. Yeah. So Jason Statham plays I guess the leader of a gang
Well,
of. Well,
so
okay.
the movie is
Yeah.
so the movie is told in a non-linear fashion,
Yes. Yeah.
which I think we both agreed during beforehand that it was kind of to the movie's detriment because it
Yeah.
isn't that complicated of a story.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's almost like Guy Ritchie was trying to copy Christopher Nolan, and
Mm.
I don't know if Christopher Nolan is necessarily the right way of going about making a movie.
No, it works for Christopher Nolan allegedly, and it doesn't usually work for others trying to be him.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so the movie starts off where we witness an armored truck being robbed. Of course, the whole thing is done where like you're almost like you're like a passenger in the truck where the camera's behind the driver. And then we cut to what was it, like 5 months later. Jason Statham is getting a job with the same armored security company of the truck that owns the truck that got hijacked, and of course he's just Jason Statham. He's very quiet, very stoic, and not a lot of chit chat with anybody.
Even less. See, and it's interesting after seeing A Working Man and The Beekeeper, is that in those movies he was actually very warm with people he cared about. Where in this one, it's very much Jason Statham always plays himself, but he's playing like a different version of himself this time. It's like he has dialed back the charm a lot.
Yeah, and he's just a real jerk.
Yes.
Although he when you find out more about his character, he has a reason to be a jerk.
Yep.
Yeah.
But and what's funny is that and we're going to go a little bit. I think we kind of have to go full spoilers to actually really talk about this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been warned. It's on Amazon if you want to watch it first and then come back later. But um, it looks at first like he is playing his standard character. Like what's every Jason Statham character basically? Divorced, single dad, a former military of some sort, doing some sort of blue collar job. The only difference this time is that he isn't beloved by his coworkers, at least not.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so we basically play through the present for a bit, and yeah, he foils a couple of robberies, and you have some mystery about like, okay, who the hell is this guy? Because one robbery is foiled just because he steps out of the car, low
Yeah.
face mask, and they realize it's him.
Yeah. And they just immediately run away. And yeah, then the other one he had where he takes down everybody, including the ringleader, who was played by Post Malone. It's just an interesting casting for a movie. I guess it must be the facial tattoos. But yeah, so like, so everybody he works with is just kind of like, well, who is this guy? And like, there's something about him that's just, there's not something not right. And well, one of his coworkers is played by Josh Hartnett, who he was in Pearl Harbor. He was Ben Affleck's buddy in that movie. He was kind of like he was supposed to be like the next like Hollywood heartthrob, but then he just kind of faded away because I think he did a few movies that were flops, and then he fell out of love with Hollywood and acting, so he just kind of disappeared for a while. But now he's come back to do a few kind of lower, like lower, smaller budget independent movies, kind of like this one. And I'm trying to remember who else. There's somebody Jeffrey Donovan from Burn Notice is in this too. He's the leader of another gang of he's the leader of the other armored car robbing gang.
Right, because what we discover after we hit the end of the present, then we have a flashback that explains who Jason Statham is. The answer is he is, ironically enough, a robber of armored trucks.
Yes. Yeah, and yeah, he's got a whole crew, and he of course there's one day where his teenage son is in the country from Britain.
His likely autistic teenage son, just based on some of his behaviors.
Yeah, and so he has to go out to the armored truck depot with his son because he has to, because they're scouting out the route for the truck. So he has to be the one to go out to. Statham is the one who has to go out and look at to see which route the truck takes, because the other guy, the guy who was supposed to do it, got into a motorcycle wreck. And yeah, and so then as that happens, the other armored truck gang hijacks that truck, and of course Statham parked his car right across from where the hijacking took place, and one of the guys gets Statham's son out of there, and makes him eat the pavement, and but then one of the robbers gets their mask pulled off, and that robber is played by Scott Eastwood, the son of Clint Eastwood. And if you look at him, he looks almost just like him. Same eyes, nose, everything. And of course, Statham's son sees Scott Eastwood without his mask and proceeds to shoot him dead. And then Statham tries to intervene, but then he gets shot, and then hence the rest of the movie, where Statham's trying to get revenge for his son's murder, and carves a bloody path along the way, and then eventually he's like, okay, well, I got to go undercover in this armored truck company to find out who killed my son.
Right, and the reason is because we get our third start of the movie, basically.
Yeah,
because it isn't anybody in the actual normal criminal world. It's a bunch of former Iraqi and Afghanistan vets who, feeling like they haven't gotten their due from the government and society, have decided to take their military skills into the private enterprise.
Yes, yeah. And
I gotta say that group of robbers is like, actually, okay, this is a good point to. Okay, actually, so we basically we see their origins, how they figured out how to do things, their brief, like why Statham's son ended up dead, how they ended up running in afoul of him a couple of times, and then the movie kind of switches over to their perspective for this final robbery.
Yeah,
this is the big one. Yeah. This is the Super Bowl of robbing, or of of cash robberies.
Right. Yeah. They got like $100 million in cash because it's on Black Friday. Um, and yeah, and of course, like Scott Eastwood's character in the movie, he's the wild card of the group. Like he's kind of like not all there, and he's very reckless with, like, he gets a bunch of money, and he goes and spends it, and they're just like, what are you doing, you idiot? He's kind of like De Niro in Goodfellas, when people start buying money after their big heist, and he's like, you idiot.
It's like, how do you afford this on a mechanic's salary? Credit.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah, credit
Okay.
card.
Okay, so now we've kind of laid out the movie here. I was shocked at how bad the dialogue and acting were, especially in like the first 2 acts of the movie.
Yeah. What was that one line statement? Put your a-hole back in your a-hole.
Yeah, and like Statham actually had like the gravitas for it. Just a lot of the secondary characters delivered their lines like they had seen a cue card 3 minutes earlier. Like Asylum level acting. I was so startled when I realized that Guy Ritchie had been involved in this movie, because like I'm not the world's biggest Guy Ritchie fan, but like I can't say that, say, Man from U.N.C.L.E. was amateurish with the writing or anything.
Yeah, or the Sherlock Holmes movies, or
and Snatch is a delight.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wonder how much of the writing he actually contributed to, because there were like 2 other writers on it, and like
it was like 3 writers, including him.
Yeah. The script wasn't very good. It did feel kind of it almost did feel like it was written by ChatGPT at times.
Right, like it was just like if they wanted to establish that a character was I don't know, a maverick, like they would literally say like, you're a maverick, if that's like that level of on the nose.
Yeah, a lot of telling, not a lot of showing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is that in the third act, or actually, I guess the fourth act, depending on how you divide it up, during the actual robbery, that's when the movie actually got interesting.
Yeah, there's some good action set pieces in there, and a lot of tension.
And they managed to it's the one spot in the movie where they managed to work a lot of character into some very briefly appearing robbery victims and things like that.
Yeah. They even kind of managed to humanize some of the coworkers that hated him, or just had like a mild dislike of him.
Right.
Especially Josh Hartnett's character.
Yeah, and I'd say it's the movie's big failing that like they tried to make us feel for the families of these ex-military people who had turned robber.
Yeah.
But like no, I'm sorry, just it did not work.
No, yeah. The build up towards that big finale was as what did you say, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, or the it was fun. It's a great part of the movie, but at the same time it's just like there's a lot of like roughage you have to get through to get to that spot.
It's also a very grim movie that doesn't end with any sort of like uplifting message or anything.
Yeah.
It is just a straightforward revenge story.
Yeah. And well, I mean, that's what we always hear about revenge is, it's very, very hollow,
Mm-hmm.
You get your revenge, but it's like, okay, well, now what? Was it worth it?
And the movie doesn't even examine that, really. It's just like, nope, revenge is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it ended very abruptly, I thought.
which is funny considering how it couldn't help but go into too much of the opening. But yet, I feel like there's like a classic lying in here, waiting to be like waiting for a second draft of the script or whatnot. But
yeah,
it's just not amazing.
no, it's not. I mean, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it like 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. That sounds totally fair.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, there are better Jason Statham action movies on Amazon you can watch if you have Prime. So,
Yeah.
like, maybe once you've watched Beekeeper and A Working Man, then you give this one a shot when
Yeah.
you want to feel a little more grounded.
Yes. Yeah. And I will add real quick before we move on to our next movie. You may have to watch this movie with the subtitles because Statham likes to mumble a lot. He's kind of,
There is that too. Man, whoever told actors to start mumbling their lines is the greatest criminal in Hollywood.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Although, okay, so I did see something where they were talking about this phenomena where most people are watching movies with subtitles on.
Yeah.
It's because every streaming service basically has their own audio codec, and everybody's home theater systems are totally different. It's like you end up with problems like, oh, what if Netflix thinks you have 5 channels plus a subwoofer, but you only have 2? It's going to like put the audio in the wrong places.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I've noticed some of them actually have that whatever reduced background noise option on there that you can use.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah.